Anyone has a specific question for Dato'?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go with this.
Can we know first what is this press conference is all about today? Because we have so many press conference and so many stories. So what specifically is this press conference?
Well, this press conference is to give you the outcome of this ASEAN tourism forum from the Sarawak perspective. Since Sarawak is the venue of the conference, and Malaysia is the host, and this is the congregation of all the ASEAN ministers in charge of tourism as well as the private sector. And definitely for Sarawak, it is indeed an honor for us to be the venue of this particular forum. While at the same time, we would like to introduce a new destination in this part of Malaysia, that is the Borneo states of Sarawak and Sabah. And I think what we have achieved so far is a close collaboration among the member countries of ASEAN. And I must say here that I'm very pleased with the feedback I got from our colleagues from ASEAN nations. And majority of them are first-timers to Kuching. And I believe maybe the media also, some of them are first-timers in Kuching. So at least now they see that Malaysia is not only concentrated in Peninsular Malaysia, but you have another place there, out there, beyond the South China Sea, where I think what we have is quite slightly different from what is offered in Peninsular Malaysia. And this conference is particularly from the Sarawak perspective, and Sarawak is indeed thankful to the federal government for the decision to have the conference in Kuching.
Right.
I've got two questions, very different from each other.
Can you don't mind identify yourself, sir?
Oh, sorry. Luc Citrino for Travel Daily News Asia in Bangkok. I've been 5 times to Kuching.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah. And because I've been 5 times to Kuching, I love this city and people are absolutely charming. What I'm a little bit concerned, it's about the disappearance of the historical heritage and the mistake which have been done in terms of urban planning, like the Plaza Merdeka. I'm so surprised that the McDonald's is just glued to the Old Court, which is one of the oldest buildings. Why this happens? Is there no law to protect this heritage? And do you think that historical heritage is not very much part of the product you want to sell as Sarawak? First question. The second question is, as ASEAN is coming together and AEC is coming in, and you talk a lot about getting together and growing together, it's very surprising to see that Kuching is still not positioned as a gateway to Borneo. And when I mean Borneo, it's not only Sabah, it's Brunei, but it's also Kalimantan. So why is Sarawak not taking the lead to become a hub for the entire region? Because of course, Borneo is 1,000 times more appealing than Sarawak as a name. So why do you not emphasize that as well?
Thank you very much for your observation on the first question. Actually, this year, we have planned what we call to establish a heritage square, starting from the museum building. I believe you know where the museum is.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Then it will come down, covering the Merdeka Padang, Merdeka Plaza, and then the post office building, the old courthouse, connected to the Ecos River, to our Parliament building, and to the old Parliament building. And that will be gazetted as a heritage square. And the plan is, of course, it will be established where all these buildings will be protected buildings. And then we will put in the infrastructure. When I'm talking about infrastructure, it's not the modern infrastructure, but rather the walkway. And then we will divert the traffic, heavy traffic along that particular road. So to answer your question, it is now part of our planning to include that as Heritage Square, and it's linked to Fort Margrethe, which is now under renovation. And then the river itself will be connected by a pedestrian bridge, similar to the one I think you can see in Brisbane. There's a pedestrian bridge that will connect the two. So definitely there are areas where we'll be gazetting it as heritage. That area, yes. And you talk about the Merdeka Plaza where you have this car park or this modern. Sometimes people want to have facility to drink, and it cannot be isolated from that. But it must be blended with the environment, with the whole environment.
Anything than that so far.
Yeah.
I think it's anything than that. I mean, when you look at Plaza Merdeka, the building is 3 times higher than the surrounding colonial heritage buildings, plus the fact that you glue the shopping center to the historical building. That's something I've never seen in a heritage area. So is there a way to change that, or you will keep it like this?
No, there is a control, high control over the site. There's a high control.
Okay.
Only, I think after the Gazette, it's only that one we allow, that particular plaza. The rest we maintain, including in the street. You know, that particular in the street will be maintained as it is. And that it will be linked to our members. The one, I'm sure you know that
Yeah,
place.
Main Bazaar.
Main Bazaar.
Main
You
Bazaar.
know,
Main Bazaar.
the waterfront.
Yeah.
And then we will maintain as it is. And the second question is
It's
on the
Borneo, yeah.
Borneo.
Kalimantan.
Yeah. We are working closely with our neighbors through BIM Yaga, that is the Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines association, the subsector of ASEAN. And there is a collaboration between us and Brunei, between us and Kalimantan. You know, in this sort of collaboration, we must have consensus between the neighboring countries. Whether we want to be our hub or they want to be their hub. So what we do is there must be a compromise between us. We only encourage individually for people to come in. As far as Brunei, we are working together between MIRI, Brunei, the Heart of Borneo program within BIM Yaga. And we have RBA as the airline that will bring in tourists to the northern part. And over Kuching and Kalimantan, we have 2 airlines already. That is Express Air from Indonesia and our Maswing from Malaysia to bring in tourists to come over to
Pontianak.
Yeah, Pontianak. That's right.
Is there any other plans to Banjarmasin or
We have one to Balikpapan. Apparently the load is not there. So the operator says, well, we have. But I think with your support, you try to promote us as a destination. I think the load will be there.
Question.
Yes.
Murray Bailey, Travel Business Analyst. Just a quick follow-up on that. Is there any plans to actually form an association, like the Borneo Travel Association or something like that, related to that? And then my second question, completely unrelated, is what is your budget, tourism budget for this year, and how does that compare with last year?
Yeah, the first one is you are talking about
Related to
collaboration.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Yes,
Are
we
you
have-
forming an association? Can you form, or will you form?
The first is we want to work together within certain framework. Then the next stage will be once you got consensus in terms of basic policy, then we will form association within the Borneo territories, including Kalimantan.
And that will happen within 1 year?
No, I don't think you can be within 1 year. The moment you can settle your visa problem, then it's easier. Because at the moment, visa is not common, and ASEAN is just having a pilot project between Thailand and Cambodia for the visa. So if you can settle the visa problem, I think the rest will come in place.
So that's what you think, 2 years?
No, it depends on the heads of government in
what do you
ASEAN,
think?
and I'm not within that category of people who can decide, so I can't.
No, but what do you think it will be?
But I think it's the direction is towards that. The direction is towards that. If it is successful between Cambodia and Thailand, the possibility of the common ASEAN 2015 will be there. And then once that framework is there, I think the rest will come in place, and easier for us to work. At the moment, Brunei may say, no, you can't get visa from us. The same with Indonesia. So I don't think we can form that sort of association yet until the level field is really there. And number two is
Budget. Money.
budget. There is no specific budget for tourism at the moment for Sarawak, as far as Sarawak is concerned, because the urban development, as mentioned earlier, they will be under different ministry, but if you put the whole policy together, it's quite substantial. It is, at the moment, we are talking about 3 billion ringgit. 3 billion ringgit if you include the infrastructure and the redevelopment exercise that you want to place in. For instance, just I give you an example, you are going to redevelop the Malay Kampung across river, and we have to maintain traditional architecture because the road is very small, so we want to improve that, just like what Singapore did. So we follow Singapore model, and that is a lot of money. So it has to be done between the private sector and the public sector within the framework of maintaining the traditional aspect of that particular kampung. So to answer your question, yes, the budget is quite substantial.
How much of that is marketing? Marketing Sarawak as a destination.
Tourism
How much
marketing,
of,
tourism
promotional
marketing,
budget?
promotional budget, A&P.
That one I can't give you the figure yet. I can't give you the figure, but there is an increase in our terms of tourist arrival.
You mean you can't give the figure because it's...
Yeah?
You can't give the figure because it's not agreed yet, or you
Which
don't
one?
have
Which
the
one?
Marketing.
The
Marketing.
Oh,
A&P budget.
marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing, yes, we have. We have our own marketing budget, which is not that big yet. It's about total is about 5.
10 million.
10 million range.
Or 10 million.
10 million ringgit
10
this
million
year,
ringgit,
last year?
No, this year. This year
This year.
is
And how does
10
that compare
million.
to last year?
Dapat
Huh?
8 million.
8 million last year.
Yeah.
Dapat. You catch it, you catch it.
From India,
Yeah.
most of the Indians visit KL, Genting and Penang, but somehow Sarawak has never come into focus, your region. What are your plans? Are you taking some initiative apart from Tourism Malaysia to promote it to Indians? Because India is a big market. There's no two doubts about that.
We are working together with Tourism Malaysia for that, including China, of course. Because as I said yesterday, we are strategically located between the two. So I think our capacity alone is not enough. So we are working together with Tourism Malaysia and Ministry of Tourism and Culture, and that is why the mascot is Progress Monkey. Meaning that there's an emphasis by the minister, the federal government, on Sabah and Sarawak. There's a shift now. Otherwise, as you know, it's only Peninsula Malaysia, Penang, Kuala Lumpur. But now the new minister has changed that, and they are looking into the possibility of trying to introduce both Sabah and Sarawak as a new market. I think with that, then we hope the airlines will also follow. The question is connectivity.
That was my next question.
See, then airline must come in. And they must stay, we have a direct flight Mumbai to Kuching.
Kuching.
Because last year we organized our ASEAN Film Festival. We got friends from, you know very well. I mean, this way I think we can work together.
But what, any specific steps that you would like to highlight to my readers?
To
My
your readers.
magazine, to my readers, that you will be taking, or
one thing, I must thank all the ASEAN ministers. I don't know whether it's premature for me to say that, but I'm quite excited because they have adopted our ASEAN Film Festivals as an ASEAN event located in Kuching. The venue is in Kuching. With that, I think we will bring in, the moment you have your Bollywood star coming over here, automatically people will know there's a Kuching there.
but all of a sudden you have been seeming to have 3-4 events back to back. I think there is one airport event also happening in March.
Route.
Yeah, that is Root Conference.
Yes, the Roots Conference.
Root Conference, yeah, Asia Roots.
Asia Roots.
We hope that will give certain view to our operators, airline people to there's a new destination, why not we fly? And that is what we hope we can get.
No, it's going to be held in March.
In March, 9th of March.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly clashing with ITB.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
after ITB.
Yeah, just after ATP.
Just
right.
after ITP.
Absolutely.
You're talking about the development of tourism, but of course, development of infrastructure are very important. So are you also working with your colleague within the BIMP EAGA to develop the Trans-Borneo Highway, just going also up to West Kalimantan or further going to Sabah and further to East Kalimantan once you arrive in Tawau? So is there another plan?
Oh yes,
for all the
yes,
area?
yes.
And how much, in fact?
Incidentally, I'm also a member of BIMP. Our bridge between Brunei and Limbang, Sarawak, just launched by the Sultan of Brunei and the Prime Minister of Malaysia. That will connect Brunei with us, and from Brunei they connect to Sabah. And our road from here through Tebedu and Pontianak is already there. So the Trans-Borneo Highway, if you can call it, is already in place. And then I understand that Kalimantan, they will link it to Banjarmasin, to the other cities in Kalimantan. Eventually, I think the whole Borneo will be covered. Eventually. And that is a time if the economy is good and there is demand, perhaps people within these countries may think of supersonic train. I mean, that can happen if they propose to do Mekong. You know, with the modern technology, there's a possibility that the whole Borneo region will be linked. That, I don't know, within my lifetime, I do not know. But the question is, the possibility is there. The possibility is there. When you got your supersonic train, just like what done in Shanghai. No, I mean, I travel from central of Shanghai to airport just matter of 8 minutes. Airport. I mean, that will be the new technology. And that possibility will be linked within Borneo.
The theme of Sarawak seems to be a bit mixed in what you're promoting. You know, sometimes you're promoting meetings like the Roots and the ICA convention, and then you're promoting green tourism, but neither of them seems to be coming through strongly. So what is coming through strongly is a mix. Have you thought that you need to have one theme and push that more strongly?
No, our thing is where adventure lives. And then when we promote our mines market, we are talking about the post-conference. People come here, okay, they concentrate their energy on subject they discuss, but sometimes they need distressing. So what you do, you go to our national park, which is only 40 minutes within Kuching. So that is where you can see the orangutan, Richie. The name of orangutan is Richie. You know, and the other adventure life that you need. So you link the two together. It has to be a package, and then we concentrate on that based on our nature, our greed.
I don't know if this was asked, but how many World Heritage Sites are there in your region here?
Sorry?
World Heritage Sites, UNESCO.
World Heritage, we got one, Mulu. Mulu, this is northern part. And then, of course, Mulu is connected to Kinabalu. Kinabalu is a World Heritage. I had a meeting with minister from Cambodia. Now we are thinking of linking Angkor Wat. See? You see, you've got three heritage actually within ASEAN that can be linked. One is Angkor Wat to KK, is a heritage. Then we have Mulu. Then you go to Yogyakarta, Borobudur. You know, it's just a
circuit.
How you link it. And then I was talking about because since Thailand and Cambodia, they have an agreement on visa, one visa.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a link between Siem Reap, Bangkok, Kuching. And then from Kuching, they can go to Mulu. You know, this is the idea when you have this conference. You got new
brainstorming.
ideas. Brainstorming, how to do it. And I have a good cooperation from Singapore about the green tourism, the national park.
Why is it we need to go through immigration when we come into on a domestic flight from Malaysia? Does that mean you have control over who comes in different from all Malaysia?
Yes, that is part of agreement when we achieve independence. Because we are a new component of the Federation of Malaysia, and we retain certain autonomy, and immigration is part of it. But with the new chip that you can place in your passport, with the new modern technology, so we have to adapt to the changes.
How do you promote community tourism? Do you work with all the ethnic groups of Sarawak? So are there some specific programs to foster them? Do they get special financial incentives to develop their own tourism attraction?